since lockdown began almost 60 days ago now, cases of domestic abuse, sadly, have soared. Described as a second epidemic running alongside coronavirus, calls to police have risen by around a third. In London alone, there have been more than 4,000 arrests. Well, join me now to shine a light on what more needs to be done to help those at risk is Dame Julie Walters, who's the patron of the women's centre My Sister's House, and alongside her, founder and victim support expert, Julie Budge. So good to see both of you this morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Both called Julie, so I'll have to call you Dame Julie if that's all right.
Oh no!
I'm sorry. I know you don't like it. No, don't call me that. But this is fantastic that you're putting yourself behind this, because it's something we've talked about on the show a lot, and it's really worrying, and I think everybody wants to try and help. So what do you think we can do?
I think we've got to stay alert, listen out. If you hear anything, if you're worried about someone, see if you can get them to talk. There are lots of helplines. My Sister's House in West Sussex has its own helplines. Women's Aid, which I'm also a patron of, has helplines. And you can ring up and there's a code so that if there's anyone in the room that's frightening you or intimidating you, they won't know what you're saying or who you're speaking to. Yeah, there's
lots. There actually is quite a lot we can do, because sometimes you feel a little bit helpless. And I know how passionate you are about this, because someone in your position, someone that's so well loved, you must get asked to do a lot of charity work or helping people. But this is very, very close to you, isn't it? You really feel very strongly about it.
I do. Yes, a lot of people say, why? Have you suffered abuse and things like that? And I'm very fortunate that I haven't. I had a very soft, easy dad, and my partner, is obviously not abusive. And so, but I guess I'm attracted to it because I'm a woman, basically.
Yeah.
I'm a woman.
Of course, of course, and you want to help. I mean, that's why, I love the fact that it's called the Sisters, because that's what we're all supposed to be like. Julie Budge, if I could just ask you, Julie, having somebody like Julie Walters on your side is fantastic, isn't it?
It's been an absolute amazing dream. I mean, when you think that we started from my kitchen table in 2014, and it was, a vision that we had to set up the Women's Centre. And since we developed and grew and grew and grew and helped more women, having someone like Dame Julie Walters has just absolutely swollen our social media, our contacts, our support, our community image. And, for me, it was just so amazing to see her in real life when she came to the centre. And it was such a lovely thing for the staff who've worked so hard.
Yeah, no, that I can completely understand that from you, because you know what it's like. Anybody at home right now watching this who sadly is in a situation that right now they feel trapped and they're concerned and they're worried for their safety, maybe the safety of their kids. Your advice to them right now, if they're watching you, what would you say to them?
I think the really important thing is to remember that, it's tough out there. And, during lockdown, obviously, for a lot of women, this isn't the first time they've been in lockdown. Domestic abuse is trapping women all over the place and has done for history. So I think we've got to think, okay, these women have got, they are in sort of survival mode. They can cope. They are strong, some of them. So it's a case of thinking to yourself, your voice matters, your feelings matter, your thoughts, you matter, your life matters. So what you need to do is ask for help. You're not alone. And the challenge is in these times about how you do that, really.
No, absolutely. And as you've both said, I mean, we will make sure that we put all of this information on our website, because it's so important, with links to your organisation, of course. And Dame Julie, it's lovely to see. It's always a joy to see you. It really is. And I just wanted to ask how you are, how you're doing, how you're coping. We know that you were living with cancer and you very quietly just got on with it. And you're okay?
Oh, yes, so far so good, Lorraine. Thanks for asking. Yeah, it's 2 years in June that I had the operation. So, I had a scan in February and that was clear. So Yeah, far as I know, everything's fine.
That's great news. That is such good news, because we really need good news right now. We absolutely do.
Yeah.
And how's the lockdown for you? How is that going? Are you actually, because some people are saying that they're quite enjoying it in a weird way.
Well, yeah, especially at the beginning in a strange way, because it's like having to, you step off the treadmill a bit, don't you? And you think, well, I can't do anything. There's the pressures. Life is kind of simpler in one sense. So, you know, I don't know how long that feeling is going to last, because I've been locked down since a week before the lockdown. I thought, well, I'm not going out, you know. Yeah. So, but what I do, I guess, is I make sure I set myself a task every day. I have to do. You're my task today, Lorraine. Do you see?
I like being your task. I think that's great. I know what you mean, though. It's having some sort of routine. I mean, we are so lucky that that's the way we can look at it, which is why I think it is so important to shine a light on others who can't. You know, men and women who are in this terrible position where, you know, I remember talking to someone who suffered from domestic abuse, and they said, at the best of times, I'm walking on eggshells. At the worst of times, right now, it's like walking on broken glass. And, you know, it does make you, you know, talking to you about it and talking to Julie about it as well, it does make you realise how lucky you are not to be in that position.
Oh, yeah. I feel totally lucky and totally just privileged that I can walk outside freely and, you know, into the countryside, and I feel lucky about that as well. I'm not holed up in a flat somewhere with three children feeling utterly and completely vulnerable.
Yeah, you have to count your blessings. I think that's what we all have to do. And as far as you said, I mean, right now there's nothing much happening as far as, you know, movies and TV and entertainment goes. But I guess you're in the position now you can really pick and choose and do things that really interest you and that you're really passionate about.
Yes, I guess so. And I've since the cancer, I mean, I felt. I like that was a different person, the person that was acting all the time. Yeah. I feel like someone else now. When people ask me about things, jobs like Mamma Mia or Harry Potter and things like that, I think it feels like it should be someone else answering, not me. It's a very strange thing. So I still am in that mode of, do I really ever want to do it? I'm not absolutely sure. So we'll see. And now the lockdown's happened, so I'm sort of off the hook a bit. But we'll see. I'm enjoying just being at home and being, you know, with my family and being on the farm and noticing things, you know, that I've never noticed before, like how fabulous the countryside and the wildlife is. And so, you know. Yeah,
no, I completely get that. I completely understand it. I really do. And for goodness sake, if anybody has earned the right to put their feet up a wee bit, it's you. And I do think it's wonderful the work that you're doing to help people who are going through domestic abuse. I think it's absolutely terrific, and I know that Julie would agree. So thank you both for coming in this morning. Like I said, we'll put loads and loads of information on our website so it's accessible to everyone. And thank you.
Really important to emphasise that they are not alone, and I think there's also that whole issue about remembering that it's not just about women that have lived with, you know, that are living with abuse. It's about the women that also are, you know, in recovery of abuse, and how this lockdown has reminded them of and giving them flashbacks and panic attacks. And I think we all have to be conscious that post lockdown, this is not going to go away. All the small charities like ourselves are going to be, you know, inundated with women and that need support for poverty, for unemployment, for increased mental health. So it's really important that, you know, the local community support that. And I also would like to say that, you know, we are part of the community and we must look out for each other. And this is not just about their, you know, it's not just their business. If you hear something, see something, know something, then for goodness sake, talk to one of the agencies out there and see what advice they give you.
Julie, very, very wise words. Thank you so much. Thank you, both of you. Great to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you.